The story of Nigerian slavery, a tale of pain, resilience, and hope. The story of Nigeria's slavery begins long before colonial conquest, in the heart of a rich and diverse land. Nigeria, known for its beautiful landscapes, vibrant cultures, and strong traditions, was a place of great kingdoms and proud people. This story is not just about its glorious past, but also about the deep scars left by the transatlantic slave trade. It is a tale of unimaginable pain, but also of hope and strength that survived the darkest times. In the late 15th century, European traders arrived on the coast of West Africa. Initially, they came to trade in gold, ivory, and spices. However, as time went on, they began to trade in human lives. The transatlantic slave trade started, and Nigeria became one of its main sources of enslaved people. The powerful kingdoms of Nigeria, like the Oyo Empire, the Benin Kingdom, and others, found themselves caught in this system. Some rulers and merchants saw it as an opportunity to gain wealth and power by capturing and selling people to the European traders. Others resisted or became victims of betrayal by their neighbors. The growing demand for enslaved people led to violent raids on villages. These raids destroyed communities, tearing families apart and reducing once thriving towns to ruins. Villages were frequently attacked at night. Entire families were captured, often separated and sold to different buyers. The cries of children being torn from their mothers echoed in the dark as fire consumed homes. Those who were captured were shackled together and marched to the coast, enduring long journeys through dense forests and treacherous terrains. Many did not survive these brutal treks. Once at the coast, captives were held in dark, overcrowded dungeons called slave forts. These forts, such as the ones in Badagry and Calabar, became infamous as places of immense suffering. Captives waited weeks or months in these hellish conditions before being loaded onto ships bound for the Americas. These ships marked the beginning of the infamous Middle Passage. The Middle Passage was a journey of sheer horror. People were packed tightly into the ship's dark, airless hold. They were given little food or water, and disease spread rapidly. The stench of death filled the air, and the cries of those in pain echoed across the seas. Many died on this journey, their bodies thrown overboard. Those who survived arrived in the Americas weak, traumatized, and stripped of their freedom. Despite the horrors, the enslaved Nigerians found ways to resist and preserve their humanity. Some led revolts on the ships, fighting for their freedom even when the odds were against them. Others escaped after reaching the Americas, fleeing to unknown lands in search of safety. Most held on to their traditions, songs, and spiritual beliefs, passing them down to their descendants. These cultural elements became the foundation of African American and Caribbean cultures, blending with other influences to create new traditions while honoring the old. The cultural legacy of Nigeria's enslaved people can be seen in the vibrant Afro-Brazilian traditions, the deep spiritual practices of the Caribbean, and the music, language, and customs of African American communities. Yoruba and Igbo words became part of new languages. Their music influenced gospel, blues, and jazz. The resilience of these enslaved Nigerians showed that even in the darkest times, they refused to let their identity be erased. The abolition of the slave trade in the 19th century brought hope, but it did not end slavery itself. Many enslaved people remained in bondage for decades, and even after gaining freedom, they faced discrimination and poverty. In Nigeria, the legacy of the slave trade left lasting scars. Villages that had been raided never fully recovered, and the social fabric of many communities was permanently damaged. However, abolition also brought new opportunities for Nigerians and their descendants. Freed Africans in Sierra Leone and Liberia established communities that sought to rebuild their lives. Some returned to Nigeria, bringing with them new ideas and skills that shaped the nation's history. In Lagos, freed slaves known as the Saro and Amaro communities became influential, contributing to education, commerce, and governance. Over time, the descendants of enslaved Nigerians began to reclaim their history. In Brazil, Cuba, the United States, and the Caribbean, they reconnected with their roots. Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa traditions continue to thrive in these diaspora communities. Festivals, dances, and languages carry the spirit of Nigeria across the world, serving as a reminder of their resilience. Today, the story of Nigerian slavery is a reminder of both human cruelty and the incredible strength of the human spirit. It is a chapter of history that cannot be forgotten, but must be used to guide future generations. By understanding the pain of the past, we can work towards a future where such tragedies are never repeated. The importance of sharing this story lies in education and reconciliation. It is essential for people to learn not just about the suffering caused by the transatlantic slave trade, but also about the resilience, creativity, and contributions of those who survived. From the bustling streets of Lagos to the vibrant communities in the Americas, the echoes of Nigerian culture are a testament to the unbreakable human spirit. To stay informed about rich and complex history of Africa, to discover the fascinating stories and events that have shaped Africa's history, follow Chronicles of African History for engaging content, and like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date. Thank you